Howdy, 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 and welcome to the Red Dirt Aggie Show. I'm Brian, the Red Dirt Aggie. That over there is Bubba Westly.
What's up, man?
Sitting
How
on
are
the
you?
Golden Nugget right now.
Yeah,
What's up, man?
I'm chilling in my room right now for the showtime. About to go down and do a sound check.
Sweet. So you're over in Lake Charles today, then, huh?
Lake Charles, Louisiana, one of
Lake Charles.
the places where you can lose everything you bring.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just got to be prepared to lose it all when you go over there, man. But it's always a good time. I was just
Yeah.
there this past weekend for my birthday, so had a good
Happy
time.
birthday to you, man. I know my birthday was last week too. My birthday's on the
Yeah,
15th, so
yeah. Those May birthdays. My wife's in May too. She's on May 9th, so
cool, cool.
all of us are real stubborn, like they
Yeah,
say,
I don't know about
supposedly.
that. Yeah, no, for sure. We're just kind of set in our ways. We believe in what we want to believe in.
That's right.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. No, it's good to finally get you on here and talk to you. I know I'm good friends. Been hanging out with Zach United a lot lately.
My
Doing
boy.
some stuff with him, and I've heard nothing but good things from all the Texas Music Reviews guys about you. So
Cool.
so
Well, I hope so. I dig all those guys, man. There's some good guys to hang around with, and
yeah,
man, I love everything y'all guys do for us Texas artists, man. Especially being there and supporting the cause and the music, because it ain't easy out here for us independent guys.
well, yeah, and that's kind of what we try to do. Push the music that's here in our great state of Texas. It's just it's
Man, I
different
heard
than
that.
what we
I heard
have
that.
anywhere else. So.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that. And you're right down the road from me too, man. I'm in Brenham, so College
Oh
Station
yeah.
ain't that far.
Yeah, man. So I'm actually in Magnolia, but I'm an Aggie, so
Word.
I was
Yeah.
so I'm real familiar with up there. But yeah, I'm in Magnolia now. Not about 10 minutes from Henry's Hideout, if you know where that is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What kind of got you into music in the first place?
What got me
Like
into
from a
music?
young
Cool.
age, or
What got me into music? My grandpa was always into music. I was raised by my grandparents. My grandpa was like my dad. He was a Tejano musician, believe it or not. And they didn't teach me Spanish. I didn't catch that bug at all by any means. But man, he toured for years, did the whole Tejano scene. Has a nice little plaque of himself in Alice, Texas, at the Tejano Music Hall of Fame.
right,
I didn't really. I mean, he got me into it, I guess you would say, because I was around music with him all the time. But
right,
to be honest, I didn't play my first guitar. I didn't pick up a guitar until I was about 15 or 16 years old. Was the first time I picked up a guitar, and that was just because I had a weird uh, accident playing baseball in high school, and I tore my knee, and I had a
uh,
few surgeries, and I've never been, just to be honest with you, I've never been a big TV person, but he bought me a guitar and taught me a few chords, and man, that was that. I was stuck on it ever
yeah,
since. So that's how I kind of got into music. I was still into music before that, but that's at least the type of music on our scene, so to say. So I had an act teacher
right,
that I would, bring this guitar up to school sometimes and pick around and on it. And she gave me some albums and was like, I think you'd really like this type of music. And it was a roller coaster album from Randy Rogers, the Level album from Eli Young, and then the Live at Billy Bob's of Wade Bowen, and the Live at Billy Bob's of Cody Canada.
I'll
So
see.
those are just
Yeah,
four classic freaking Texas, records, man.
yeah,
And I learned how to play guitar by listening to those records. Dude, the Eli Young record, I think I knew every song on there, guitar wise, vocal wise, lyric wise, from front to back. That was
right.
and the roller coaster album too. Those two are my favorites. My overall, to be honest, and I love all kinds of Texas music, but I'm a Wade Bowen fan, bro. I'm a kind of
Yeah,
fanboy a little bit when I get to open a show for Wade or play to get to go see a Wade show. My kid's middle name is Wade from Wade Bowen, so I'm that big of a Wade Bowen fan.
well, yeah, and I mean, just from a songwriter standpoint and everything
Yeah,
too, just what he's given to Texas is enormous for sure.
for sure. Yeah,
And
yeah, that's no doubt, man. Everything he does, I mean, the dude's just a great dude. If you ever meet him, you get to hang out with him, man. I got the pleasure of hanging out with him a few times. Shows I got to open for him, and I was invited on the bus. The dude was just a nice guy. Had a conversation. I mean, asked questions, and he was just there to give you an answer that was just so positive. And there's not a lot of genuine artists out there like Wade. And yeah, man. Anytime I see my name and his name on the same bill, I kind of get excited.
yeah, man, you start start the fanboy or fan get excited
Yeah.
a little bit. You know,
It's
you're
a
like,
good
oh
feeling.
yeah,
It's
let's
like, all
go.
right, I'm gonna have some good conversation. I'm gonna be around some good people, man. And so crew's always been super nice too. So
Yeah, and it's cool when you find people like that, that are just incredibly successful, but just humble as could be, and willing
yeah,
to share
for
the
sure.
advice and the not the knowledge that they have of what took them to that level, so they could pass that on to whoever's up and coming, or
Yeah,
wants to be at that level.
yeah. And I don't know what it is, man, about I guess I'm just kind of one of those people that I'm very open and transparent with everybody. So if anybody ever asks me a question, I'll be like, all right, here you go. This is how I did it. I'm not speaking for
Yeah,
the other thousands of artists that are out there now. I said, but this is how I've got to the point to where I'm at, and I would still say I'm building. That's just the honest truth. And so I like to share that knowledge. But man, there's a lot of guys in the scene that are just the total opposite. Don't want to give you the time of day. Don't want to give you. But then as soon as they need something, they're ringing your phone like, hey, what's up?
yeah,
It's crazy, man. I mean, that's just two different flip sides of that coin in this scene. Just kind of suck, but it's glad that there's still some good, humble, nice dudes in the scene.
well, yeah, and I don't see a reason why everybody shouldn't be getting along. It's not like I guess you're competing or whatever. But really, there's room for everyone to be successful. People are gonna like what they like. It's like like everybody should be rooting for everybody. You
Someone told me this
think?
advice, and it made total sense to me. If you're competing with somebody in a musical scene and they're not playing a show across the street from you, then you're either cheating or you're stealing from that artist artistically and creatively. So therefore, you got a problem with that artist. And dude, it made total sense to me. That I was like, wow, I never even would think of it that way. And because that's not
Yeah,
something that I keep in my mind, because I've always been a real, true, original to myself type artist. Like I've been pitched songs before and stuff of that nature. But man, to really hear somebody go, this is why this person probably doesn't like you, or this is why this person has an issue with you. It's kind of really eye opening, when you hear
yeah,
stuff like that. And it's like you said, I think there's plenty of room in the scene as long as you want to be original. You want to
yeah,
be who you are, and bring that creativity and originality to the stage that and the platform that Texas, especially Texas, country music and the Texas music scene gives independent artists, man. I mean, there's a platform for everybody to grow, but there's some people that will never get past that.
yeah. And it's just interesting to hear from that perspective. I never thought about it that way. Maybe that's why some people have problems with people. They feel like they're taking their ideas or whatever, and not giving them any kind of credit or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Just saying like, oh, this is all me. No one's ever done this, but really, there might be people that have. And I think sometimes that, yeah,
Every song has been
it's
written before, man. It's just been written a thousand different ways. It's just like, here's the honest truth with you. Now you steal a direct line from somebody. That's a totally different story. You got to pay that songwriter fee,
sure,
you know.
yeah,
But
you know,
it is what
for
it
sure,
is.
man. For sure. So you said you used to play baseball.
I
What
did.
what was that like a big part of your life up until you transitioned into songwriting, and what kind of led you to make it? Was it that injury, or what kind
Oh
of
yeah.
transitioned you
There was a
into
huge transition, man, because it kind of just happened. It wasn't expected. So I was at high school. I tore my knee in high school pretty bad. I lost several scholarships just from it. So I decided to go walk on at a junior college. I played some junior college ball, and then I got an offer to walk on at a university, which right here.
I see.
And dude, my wife's an Aggie, so that's how we. I have some Aggie gear too in the closet.
I mean, we're Red Dirt Aggie show, but they got a great music scene up there too in
Well,
Lubbock.
this is where I'm getting to. Yeah, yeah, dude,
Yeah,
it's great. I was out there, didn't know, what to really do. Basically, essentially, I was going to go out there and play ball, and they were like, "Hey, man, you can't pass the physical. We're not going to pass you with your knee," which totally understandable. I was still having some issues. I had injured that knee late in the season, right before I was offered a walk-on spot, and which is still a walk-on spot. Is like, hey, come over here and try out, see if you can pass the physical. And even
right.
then, you still might not get a spot, and you might not even get a scholarship. But Texas Tech was always a university, man. Even when I was in high school, that I always really was interested in, because Lubbock's not an overly big city, and it was kind of like, I wouldn't say the old College Station, because College Station now is a totally different animal, man, than it was 10 years ago when I was in college,
Yeah, man.
And
It's like a
but
full
it was
fledged
kind of
college
like the
campus now.
same, man. It was a small town that had everything, everybody around there. It was, I mean, everything near the campus in Lubbock was beautiful, man. It's a beautiful city, and everything up there is just straight flat. But once you get to Lubbock, there's a little greenery, there's a little scenic stuff to do out there. And man, I had a buddy of mine that was going to music school right down the road in Levelland, Texas, at South Plains College. So I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna try my music. I was playing guitar a little bit. I was trying to do some stuff as far as play some local shows. When I was in Hill County, we were going into Waco and playing this open mic night on Tuesday nights called Buzzer Billy's. And dude, I remember making my first $50 at like 18 and thinking like, holy crap, he gave me $50 to sing for 30 minutes or like an hour. I'm coming back next week. And dude, we were there every freaking Tuesday, man. And when I went to Lubbock, dude, I went to SPC, and I was going to SPC in the daytime and then going to Tech at night. So, man, I was busy, really busy for 2 years out there because I wanted to get finished with school since baseball was kind of out of the picture. And, man, I was out there and I was working at Blue Light, and that was just where I fell in love with the city of Lubbock and fell in love with the scene. I mean, I got to see William Clark Green with like 10 people there, bro. Like just doing open mic nights. Like Kyle Park was really kind of, honestly, Kyle Park was pretty big at that time, I would say. And so to see him, pack out the Blue Light, and it was cool getting to work there and then watching these concerts at the same time. And then now I'm in this scene and seeing these guys that I saw, 10, 15 years ago and just that are huge names when you're just seeing them for the first time to like 20 people, man, and seeing the way that their craft kind of grew. But you want to talk about a music scene out there, I tell everybody, like if you are a Texas musician, regardless of what style you are, and you want to continue to be a real professional musician, man, SPC is the place to go. South Plains College. They got an amazing program there. I love the program there. Multiple people that I've stayed friends with over the years went to school there. So it's a great college. It's a great place. It's a great area. It's a small town, So I enjoy it. And I always tell everybody, man, just SPC, if there's a way to go, if you want to not pay thousands and thousands of dollars and go to like Belmont or Berkeley. So, and they got a great program, to be honest with you. They have an amazing program. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, man. But yeah, that's what really kind of threw me into the songwriter game. I started songwriting out there, started doing open mic nights, won a few songwriting contests at some local bars out in Lubbock, and was like, man, maybe I can do this for money. And then a different idea of me goes, you know what? No, let me move to San Marcos and try to get my master's, which was a dumb idea. I didn't do anything in Texas State, by the way. I went to the semester there for like college there for like one semester and failed out pretty much. Me and a master's degree was never meant to be.
Hey, but now now you're out there, making your career in music, so that's
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah, dude, I enjoy it too. I really do. I really do enjoy it.
Well, and you've looking at your social media, you got a baby on the way, right?
I got a baby on the way, man. Yeah, I got a 7-year-old already, and we got one on the way, and we're excited. She's due in September, and I think God intended me to be a girl dad. So I'm telling all my buddies, if you make it to Huntsville before I do, be sure you save me a bed. Man, the world's just crazy to grow up, have a woman in these days. And I think it's just crazy to raise a child in these days, but life goes on, and we got to make the life the best we can. And I'm super excited. I'm super excited to have a daughter on the way. My wife's excited. My whole family's over the moon. And me and my son, as usual, will be the only boys around because we're all surrounded by women. Every one of our families, dude, was all girls. It's just me and my kid, me and my boy. That's it. Everything around us, we're surrounded by women, bro, constantly.
That's that's funny. But yeah, I want to have a kid one day, maybe in the next couple of years or something. My wife and I just got married about a year ago, back in June.
Congrats, man.
The year June 3rd. But it's funny you say that, being a girl dad. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm able to handle being a girl dad one day or something, because it's like I know how guys think, and I'm like, I don't want other people thinking that about my daughter one day. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's scary.
Man, it is. It is. It's a scary world, That's too, and I think about my brother. Like my brother is in the military and stuff, and has nothing but girls. And now he's like just a big old like pansy. Not really.
Yeah,
I'm
but
joking.
no, but like,
He's gonna see this and be like, "Bro, really?" No,
yeah.
he's a good dude, but it's just like, dude, he has all girls. He turned into a softie, and I'm just like, I guess that's what's on the way for me.
Soften you up a little bit.
Yeah.
because you won't be able to say no to her for sure.
I have that
That's
feeling.
how it works.
I can't say no. That's hard for me to say no to my boy. So yeah, I could imagine. I love a girl.
And but so you're on the road over there to Lake Charles today, and I'm sure as a musician you're on the road a lot. Probably
Yeah,
stopping in gas stations and stuff. What's your go-to snack or drink or something from a gas
I'm a
station?
coffee guy, and I like my coffee like black with like two sweet and lows. That's it. I'm a coffee guy, and specifically the house roast from Bucky's. I mix
Oh
the
yeah,
house roast and the dark roast. Like I don't know what it is, but when I mix those two from the Bucky's, it's just that's solid coffee grains right there for me, bro. That's top of the line. So I'm a coffee guy when I'm on the road, man. Especially driving and traveling a lot. Now, if it's like after a show and I got to go like an hour or two, or maybe a little longer to travel to the next town, I'm not gonna pick up a coffee. But if I'm on the way to a show or something, I'll grab me a coffee. But yeah, coffee and Gatorade, zero is pretty much the road trippers for
flavor.
me. And beef jerky. All right, well, not beef jerky. I prefer the turkey jerky, to be honest with you. So I will
What flavor of
turkey jerky,
Gatorade?
coffee, and is my go-to. And dude, those little protein snacks that they have, those protein packs, Bucky said, dude, fire, son, fire. Whoever created that for $10 is a genius because that's like $2 worth of crap in there. And it's just
Oh,
like,
the little protein
yeah,
packs,
this
like
little,
the crackers, adult
they're
Lunchables.
perfect. It's like an adult Lunchable, exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's good though. I
Dude,
love those little
solid,
things.
solid, man. So I would have to say that is my go-to. So if we're like I traveled down I-10 today, I had to make a Bucky stop. If we go at 45, we're making a Bucky stop. There was not a Bucky's on 35 north from Brenham, but now there is. They just built one outside of Hillsboro. So when we go up to Dallas or DFW that way, we're getting one. But yeah, we're Bucky's people. And if not, and I always tell people this one's funny too. And we didn't find this out till like maybe about a year ago. If you go to the Cefco, any Cefco's, which is kind of like a Central Texas type place,
Yeah.
after midnight they give away coffee. I went in there and I was like, "Hey, can I get coffee?" And they're like, "Is that all you have?" I'm like, yeah. They're like, "Yeah, we don't charge for coffee after midnight." I'm like, "What? Free coffee
So they had to
later?
change
Thank you,
out
Cefco."
change it out or what?
It's like, way to put
Wow.
me in a good mood. Thank you.
But that's interesting. Yeah, I guess they have to like change out the things or something after midnight. Maybe
Dude,
that's
who
what
knows? I didn't ask questions. I got a free cup of coffee and was like, "See you later.
Just,
Thank you." Especially when they explained it to me, like, "Yeah, we don't charge for coffee after midnight. Is it just this location?" And that's what I'm saying. Thought it was just that location. Like a few weeks later, we were traveling from like Fort Worth back to Brenham, and I was like, "Man, I'm gonna go in and stop in the Cefco." And I went in there and grabbed a coffee,
yeah.
and they were just like, "Oh, it's no charge for the coffee," and I paid for like whatever else I had and gas. I was like, "So the coffee's free after midnight?" They're like, "Yeah, absolutely." And it's like, "So this every Cefco? Is there just like a small chain?" But yeah, Cefco coffee. It's not no Bucky's, but it'll do.
Oh, that's I never heard that mixing the two coffee flavors too. Okay, so that's interesting.
And dude, it's
Yeah.
just it's there's something about it. You can, I mean, it's just it blends well.
It's going back to music. You said you have your some new music coming soon, correct?
Yeah, man, we were in the studio all day yesterday. I cut my albums and stuff down to Stormy Cooper Media in Houston, which is, I mean, that place is amazing, dude. Just top of the line, super professional. Love Stormy to death. Will, my engineer that I work with at Stormy Cooper Media, Will Braun is freaking genius. Love working with him, and he makes everything so easy for me, man. I've used other studios before, and I'm not knocking anybody, but it's just there's just something about when I go there. I just kind of feel like I'm at home. Like, I mean, honestly, like there's a
Yeah.
couch, I'll lay there, listen to what we're doing, or I literally just I feel like I'm home there. It's comfortable, man, and it's inviting. And I got a cut with my old drummer Darius Ross came in, which is Dylan Wheeler's drummer now. He came in and cut. We got a guitar player that's about to jump on board with us. His name is Connor. He came in and cut the record, and then we got to work with Marian Aqualis. That's my first time ever working with him. It's an Italian dude that used to tour with like Jason Mraz. I think they said he was with like John Mayer for a little while or something like that. So he
That's
came
cool.
in and cut some tracks. And dude, we were recording a song that was pitched to Montgomery Gentry, and apparently didn't work out for him. How that kind of phased out. But a guy wrote it, Bernie Nelson. He's a Texas dude, Texas songwriter. which are the guys Adam Fisher and Doug Phillips. And they sent it over to me, and they said, hey, before you cut it, there's another guy from Georgia or something that might cut it. So they pitched it around, I think, to a few artists, and it finally got back that they gave me the okay to cut it. And I was like, all right, great, because dude, I sat on the song for 3 months. I'm not going to lie. Like, quietly, been listening to this song every day, like, oh, dude, I really want to cut this song. And it came back, and which is crazy because this is no BS, dude. This is the first time I have ever cut someone else's song. Like, that I didn't write, or I wasn't a writer on. It's the first time
So it's something that you really like or you connect with. Obviously, if you're
Yeah.
choosing it to be your first one that you've cut, you said you're bumping it every day. So
Yeah, dude. And then when they tossed the song at me, and the first time I heard it, I was like, okay, dude, this is dope. And it's something a little bit outside of my box because, to be honest with you, and I tell everybody this, I'm not really a commercial type artist. I mean, I straight up,
you have a couple songs that
Well, yeah, you got it. You know which one I'm talking about. And we got some merch coming to the merch booth for that one. If anyways, before I get off topic, because I want to talk about this bandana my wife bought me in Mexico. Anyways, so we were cutting this. I've never viewed myself as a commercial artist. I don't write that way. And there's nothing wrong with that because, and I say that, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, you think you're too good for radio, which is not the truth. That's not at all. It's not that I don't believe in radio. I literally just had today, as a matter of fact, it went from number one and was 2 for like 3 weeks. And today I just got a text literally before we got on cutting this podcast that it went to number 1 again. So, which is pretty cool. So that's mean it's been 1 or 2 for 5 weeks in a row, which is Fallen Star, my current single on Texas Internet Radio. And even on radio, it's doing well. And it's not that I don't believe in radio, it's just my songs are the type of songs where I literally got to talk to a program director and be like, hey man, hope you don't get in trouble for playing this. Here's my song. And not that it's vulgar or anything. This song isn't vulgar. It just, there's some lines in it that probably some people don't agree with because the truth is too well spoken. And that's a lot of the things, man. When the truth is too well spoken, a lot of people don't want to listen. And what they'll do, they'll turn their heads. And I think that's what Fallen Star is, man. Because there's a line in it that says, girl, there's tattoos on your arms. Don't cover up all those scars. And just talking about, like, everything that you've done. And it wasn't specifically written about a girl. Just the storyline of this song follows a woman. And, like another line says, you lay in that bed like a woman. Oh, and you move like one, too. And, I sure hate what your daddy and some little boy done did to you. And dude, that's real life stuff right there, and that's the problem, man. It's not commercialized. I write, the song sounds great. It's a great commercially packaged song and put together on a great commercially packaged record that's ready to go. I mean, it's quality, and that's what I strive for is quality. I put it out, and we put it out to radio, and we had a ton of radio stations pick it up right off the bat. And then we had a lot of stations that were like, whoa, we're going to see what happens and how this does and how it plays with other stations, just because I'm one of those people that likes to touch that gray line. I like to ride that fine line. And now we're seeing a lot of positive. It's in the top, 30 for Texas music right now on the TRRR charts, and on all the charts, it's in the top 30. It's just, there's still some stations that are like, man, there's no steel guitar, there's no fiddle on it. We're not picking it up. All right, no problem. I get it. And that could be for the demographic that their station is reaching to. That's no problem. I can't hate on that. My demographic, what I sell to, is not the, 60-year-old plus crowd. Not as. And I don't mean that rudely. I just mean that in all respect, in all honesty. That's just not what I'm selling to. If you want to hear a little bit more on the rock side, and you're cool with some true, real life, soulful country lyrics, then maybe my music is for you. But not every song has fiddle, and not every song has steel guitar, and I'm okay with that. But this one we cut yesterday, man, we had Jody Cameron came in on steel guitar, who is a legendary steel guitar player out of Angleton, Texas, man. He drove up, and we cut that song yesterday, and I was listening back to it, and I'm like, okay, dude, this is the biggest commercial project that I'm ever going to put out. And that's true. The 2 songs I got going to radio, the one coming out this summertime is going to come out at probably mid to late June. It's called Feels So Good. And I wrote that song. It's been one of my favorite songs I've written. I kind of sat on it for a while, and I went to the studio and recut it completely. And, dude, I love it. Love it. It's a great summertime song. It's upbeat. It's a feel-good song. I wrote it about a crazy night at Hurricane Harry's in College Station, you know. So it's a dancing tune for sure. And then this other song was pitched to me, Damn Baby is the name of it, Damn Baby. And dude, it's just when you turn on any pop country station that, you know, there's no rap in it. There's no, you know, auto tune stuff. There's no backing tracks. There's nothing in there that makes you go, oh my God, we got another Morgan Wallen here. You know what I'm saying? All right. I mean, I don't mean to say that because people are going to think I'm trying to diss Morgan. That's not the truth at all. I'm just saying it's not a pop country tune. There's drums in it. Right. Everything is real instruments, and it's just a feel good tune, man. It's a driving beat, but it's commercialized. It's for radio. We wrote it. I mean, the production we put to it was production already that we got in the GVD, we got in the demos from Nashville. And we were like, okay, I don't want to stem too far off of this, but I want to put my own touch on it. So there's some stuff on it when you listen to it that you'll just be like, man, okay, I understand what he's talking about now. We just did it, man, because I want my kid to be driving down the road and listening to, like, you know, 100.3 out of Houston and hear my song come on the radio. And I mean, that's just honest truth. Who doesn't want that? You know, who doesn't want that? And I know I'm not the big commercial artist guy. That's never going to be me, and I don't think that will. And if it ever happens, thank God, you know, whatever. I'll be humble about it. But that's not what I'm shooting for. I'm shooting to be myself and to be an original creative artist, you know. But I want to put it out to radio too, so people know who I am when they come to the shows, and people know what they want to listen to. You can definitely see that, man. When you drop a record on Spotify, you drop a record on social media, you see what songs capture the crowd that you're selling to. Very, very quickly. Very quickly. That's why we're laughing about Can't Get You Off My Mind. But, bro, that song sold faster to everybody than was expected. And in all reality, I wrote that song with my 69-year-old lawyer as a joke. As a joke, bro. Swear to God. I wrote that song with my lawyer. It was one of my best friends. But, yeah, we wrote that song together. And it was just, everybody's like, I can't believe you put that out. There's a lot of haters on it. But I was like, just as many haters, there's way 1,000 more lovers, you know, of that song. Well, it is what it is. You can't please everybody, though.
It's like the guy who wrote Dick Down in Dallas, and he said they interviewed him about it, and he was like, man, I really didn't want to be known as the guy who wrote this song. He's like, I have a lot of other songs, but everyone always just knows me as the guy who wrote that song because that's the one that got so popular.
Dude, shout out to Trey Lewis, like straight up. I hit him up on Instagram one day, bro. Like on Insta, like no bullshit. Straight up one day I hit Trey Lewis up on Insta. And I was like, hey, dude, here's my song. And I sent it to him. And I was like, if you get a chance, can you take a listen? I would like some advice from you because I know this song's a little probably on the same lines. And, you know, the dude wrote me back and it was like gave me his manager's number and was like, hey, man, if you really want to push this song, this is the guy to talk to. And obviously, it was not the song that I wanted to push. I'm not going to be able to spend that kind of money to push a song that way. But he straight up told me, like, hey, dude, you can hit up this guy. Gave me his number. He goes, this guy's great to work with. It's the guy that's managing me. This is how we got the song popular. He goes, and you know how else we got the song super popular? We did Facebook Reels and TikTok Reels. Yeah. And he goes, and I had people send the song all over. Then the song just started catching fire, and that's that. And now I'm known as the Dick Down in Dallas guy. And I was like, dude, I mean, just the cool dude, bro, like was just the nicest responding back to me. So, you know, and you don't see a lot of people like that, especially somebody like that. How big that's, I mean, dude, come on. You can go to any state in the United States and know exactly who sings that song and what's about to come next out of the next line.
Yeah, man. But it's just funny how certain things like certain songs and certain things like that just catch on so quickly too.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And I mean, now we got merch
it's funny. Yeah.
We got merch at our merch booth with bandanas that say "Sit on my face." It is what it is, man. It is what it is. If it sells, you got to sell it, right?
Well, what were you going to tell me about the bandana in Mexico?
So we're in Mexico. The first night we landed in Mexico, we just got back from Mexico last week, Sunday actually, and we were in Mexico. And the first night we're there, we're eating at this place in Cabo called Mango Deck, and we're watching this Michael Jackson impersonator, bro, in Mexico. It was great.
Oh my God.
And there's these people like walking up and down the beach, like late at night trying to sell you drugs. And I mean, that sounds crazy, but dude, for real, they'll just be like, hey bro, you want some smokes? And then they'll be like, we got all this other stuff too, bro. It's crazy. That's just Mexico for you, you know? And there's this guy selling bandanas, just walking around. Dude, he had bandanas on hangers, holding them up, just walking down the beach. I'm like, this guy holds these hangers up all freaking day and walks up and down the beach. That's crazy, you know. But had them, and he was holding one up, and he was like, "Hey, Mister, you want to buy? I got one for you." And I turn and I look, and Hannah goes, "I'm going down there right now." My wife goes, "I'm going down there right now." And my mother-in-law, went and bought that bandana for me. And I turn and I look, "Where y'all going?" And they're like, "Look." And I look at him, and he's holding this bandana that says "Sit on my face." So I bought it, and I was like, "Man, I got to get my lawyer one." Dude, it took us literally from the first day we got there to the day we left. Before the day we were leaving, we finally found somebody who had one that said "Sit on my face," dude. So, yeah.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I came back with two bandanas from Mexico that inspired our merch line. Part of our merch line.
That's funny, man. that's
So
that.
come sit on my face bandana at a Bubba Westly show near you.
I'm gonna have to now.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool seeing you play over there at the. You're playing over there at the Nugget too. I know last Thursday. I think Peyton Howie was over there last Thursday
Okay,
too.
cool, yeah.
Another person who plays, around Texas
Freaking love
too.
her, man. That girl is so freaking talented.
Yeah, she's like been taking off a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like,
I talked with her last night about some stuff. We were texting back and forth, and she was telling me like, some stuff going on in her career, and I'm just like, bro, you deserve it. Like, girl, you've been kicking butt, like literally. And so when you're ready to have
she's playing like 6 shows a week and stuff too.
and like full band stuff too, bro, that is dope.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's like
yeah,
that a lot of viewers might not understand, because I get this a lot. Everybody's like, dude, why do you do 2 or 3 acoustic shows a week? Well, I do 2 or 3 acoustic shows a week because not a lot of venues want to pay a full production,
yeah,
full band, 4 or 5 times a week. And this is what I do full time. I'm a full time musician. And it's not like I'm doing the same shows at the same bars every week. And I mean, I'm traveling all over,
right.
like for instance, and seeing her, man, just kill it the way she's killing it too. My God, dude. We got to play a show together a few weeks ago in Willis, Texas. And dude, that was unreal. The girl's so freaking talented. It's just like I can't praise her enough. Even the single that she just put out too, Rambling Woman, man, super talented, super
Yeah,
super freaking good. And she cuts it in Nashville with Grady Saxman, who's freaking talented and great. I mean, he does. I think if I'm not mistaken, he also cuts like Chad Cook's records and stuff too. But yeah,
yeah.
super talented, man, and she deserves every bit of success she gets. And I'm hoping that when we have a meeting with her and her mom, that they can shine some light on me to tell me which direction to start pointing this ship in. Because I need it, boy. I want some of those opening gigs.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because
But yeah. But anything else you wanted to share today while we have you here on the show?
oh, bro, man, just that y'all go out there and hit up the social medias for real, because all the followers we can get on every bit of social media is what true independent artists like me, man, we survive on. Like,
Yeah,
the last 2 years, man, have been like, it's crazy to kind of see monetization checks come in. And that sounds crazy to some people. Like, what that means exactly is you got enough followers on Facebook, you got enough followers on TikTok, you got enough followers on Insta. Dude, I'm getting paid from Snapchat. I didn't even know I had enough followers to get paid from Snapchat. Now I'm not getting paid hundreds and thousands of dollars from these social media companies, but it's enough to pay some bills, you know what I'm saying? And that's a
yeah,
big
it
thing,
adds
is
up.
being an independent artist. I mean, dude, there was one month that I was really kind of like, wow, I made more in monetization than what I made in royalties this month. This is crazy. But it's,
Yeah,
man, it's just kind of the way that the independent scene goes right now for any artist. They'll give me a follow on all the social medias. I'm not a big Twitter person. I guess X, I guess that's what you want to call it now. X,
Twitter.
whatever. I always say Twitter still. I always mess that up. But I try to. I'm not good at it. I guess you got to
Yeah,
be very active on that platform, and you really got to kind of be active on all platforms. But apparently, Twitter, you need
well,
to tweet like 10 times a day or something.
and being a musician, it's probably more beneficial to be on the other ones anyway, because you could actually put out video of you playing
Correct.
something, or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
more related to what you're doing.
Yeah, that's no doubt for sure. And there's another app right now that's kind of blowing up because of all the stuff, the TikTok rumors that they might get rid of TikTok in America.
Yeah,
So there's an app called Clapper. So Clapper,
what?
Clapper. Yeah.
Clapper.
And Clapper, man, that's one too that you kind of build on. I think that's going to take over the TikTok scene when TikTok kind of fades out. in America. It's kind of like, when Vine was a big thing and then just
Yeah, then it goes
disappeared
into
overnight. Hey man, I loved Vine, by the way, bro.
me
Vine was
too.
where it was at. And there's
It
people
was.
watching this and being like, "What is Vine?" It was before
The
your time,
youngins don't
youngster.
know.
Before
Yeah,
your time.
yeah. Vine
Yeah,
was great.
good
It was like
times, man.
TikTok,
But
but it was 6 seconds. It was 6 second TikToks, and it was great. Save time.
yeah, it was like 6 seconds, and then they made it from like 6 to 10, I think, like right before it kind of went downhill or whatever. Yeah, dude, that's how Luke Combs got famous. Yeah, famous on Vine.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know
you got to
that.
check out that story, bro. For if you have not, he got famous
I
from
have to
Vine.
look at that.
He was
That's
doing like
crazy.
10-second covers or something like that. Some kind of little thing he created on Vine, and somebody picked him up like that. That's kind of how it is on TikTok, man. I know some artists I got picked up from having TikTok followers. I mean, it's crazy because they don't sound live the way they sound on their TikToks. And I'm not hating on anybody, but it's just kind of like, okay, that video was
Yeah.
pre-recorded, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, people are getting signed to record deals and stuff just
Yeah.
from social media nowadays. It's
Yeah.
just the way it goes.
That's the industry changing, man. The industry changes, and just like any other job and any other thing that has
Yeah,
rules and litigations, there's unspoken rules in this scene, and unspoken litigations in this scene, and then of course there's like other rules and laws that you got to abide by. You can't copy somebody. You got copyright laws, so on and so forth. It's just like any other job. It's
right.
just not one that I think a lot of musicians want to take seriously. And I do my best to take it seriously because this is what I do. This is what puts food on the table for my family. So it supports the family. Man, this is my brand. This is what me and my wife build on, and this is what we want to build our future on. So we're at it
Yeah,
every day, bro. We're hustling. We're calling somebody. We're making phone calls, whether it's radio stations, emails, making videos. Dude, I made videos on my phone, for a long time, and just doing stuff like that. This is kind of how it has to go. And if you want to
yeah,
really, really be a true independent artist, man, you got to know the little bit of money that you got to spend. You got to know where to spend it. Y'all out there help me make that money so I can find the right places to reinvest in myself. Is the proper term
yeah.
for that. You got to continue to reinvest in your life, man, and in yourself. So, but man, I appreciate you having me on, dude. It really, really, man. So y'all hit up the social medias. Thank you so much for what you do, bro. For all the artists out there, I really appreciate you, and thank you for having me on. And I hope that we get to catch up at a show soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta ask you one more thing
Come
before
on,
we go,
come
though,
on. No,
because
no,
we
go
ask
ahead.
everyone that comes on, the beans belong in Chile.
Dude, beans belong in Chile. We're having this conversation. God,
Yeah,
who do I want to side with, Rich O'Toole or
William
William
Clark
Clark
Green,
Green?
basically.
Do beans belong in Chile? God, that's a hard one. Now we'll say it this way. This will be a little off topic. When I make my famous Bubba beans at the house, I put a lot of meat in them, but it's pork. It's not beef, and it kind of turns into like this bean stewy thing that's off the chain. But man, I have to say that beans don't belong in Chile. Beans don't
All right.
belong in Chile. Sorry, not in
Bubba says
Texas.
no beans.
No beans. I'm a no beans guy. Sorry, and I love beans,
Bubba.
but I just don't think that in true Texas authentic chili, beans don't belong.
See, but that's not the question. The question is, do beans belong in your chili?
Nah, I'm not putting them in my chili.
No. All
Not
right.
sure.
Well, there you have it. Bubba says
Hey
no,
man,
no
thank you.
beans.
No beans in chili. No beans in chili.
But
And if you do put
thanks.
beans in your chili, I don't hate you either. So you keep putting beans in your chili if that's what you like.
Hey, you do what you like.
Yeah. Hey man, I prefer my chili with cheese. If anybody out there really wants to know,
Oh yeah, man.
you gotta have
Cheese makes
cheese
everything better.
and
Cheese
some
makes
oyster
everything
crackers
better.
or some saltines, bro. That's how that goes for me.
Yeah,
That's a win-win right there for me.
cheese and crackers got to go in there for sure.
Dope.
Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. But thanks for taking time to hang out today. I know you got to get to your sound check, but thanks for hanging out on the Red Dirt Aggie Show. That over there is
So,
Bubba Westly. I'm Brian, the Red Dirt Aggie. As always, gig 'em and God bless. We'll see you next time.
thank you, man. Appreciate y'all.